Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Will Raphael Varane to Manchester United happen? Manchester United are close to reaching an agreement with Raphael Varane. Man United expect to pay Real Madrid around €50 million. Real Madrid have given Raphael Varane's agent approval to hold talks with Manchester United. That's according to reports from Spain. Real Madrid offered Raphael Varane a renewal contract offer, but Raphael Varane has rejected it. Varane's current contract at Real Madrid expires next year. Sky Sports have already said that Manchester United are interested in signing Raphael Varane, and Man United have been in advanced talks. He says Varane won't take a decision on his future until after his 3-week holiday. But Varane's made it clear that he wants to come to Manchester United. And he wants to leave Real Madrid. He recently said Chelsea are looking to hijack our move. PSG have also been in for him. Fabrizio Romano did say that Raphael Varane is open to the idea of joining Man United because it's unlikely he'll extend his time with Real Madrid, and he said it's impossible for Varane to go to PSG because PSG have just got Sergio Ramos. We went in for Varane 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. There's a good chance he'll be our third signing in this summer transfer window. We've made 2 signings so far in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we re-signed Tom Eaton, and obviously we got Jadon Sancho. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. He's got a very good pedigree as a player. He's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid. If Varane came to Manchester United, Varane and Harry Maguire would complement each other very well in our back line. Varane's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them over 10 years. He's made 360 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. Just want to give you some news on Lee Grant. Lee Grant has signed a contract with Manchester United until 2022. I don't see the point in that whatsoever. Is Lee Grant, 37, 38 years of age now? I recall him making one appearance. We did actually get Lee Grant on a free from Stoke. Man United are in search for a centre defensive midfielder. Man United want Declan Rice, Leon Goretzka or Eduardo Camavinga. Now, Declan Rice has turned down 2 contract offers from West Ham. He wants to be informed of any bids. West Ham are not determined to sell Declan Rice. They've said they want at least £100 million. He's a good player, he's Rice, but he's not worth 100 million. I reckon he's worth from between 60 to 70 million pounds. Man United, Chelsea and Man City are interested. Declan Rice would be a great signing for Manchester United. The reasons is because he'd fit in our team perfectly. He's well proven in the Premier League. He's still young and he's got a lot of development in him. Rice is predominantly a holding midfielder, but he can be deployed as a centre-half. He's been at West Ham now for a good 7 years or so. He's got a contract with West Ham until 2024. Was it last season? Solskjaer did agree with our recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing for the club, and Declan Rice asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford. Before West Ham, Declan Rice was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he never got into their first team. It says Man United are interested in Leon Goretzka. That was stemming from Sport Bild. If Paul Pogba leaves the club. Bayern Munich are making no progress on committing Leon Goretzka to a long-term deal. Leon Goretzka said though he wants to extend his deal with Bayern Munich. His current contract expires next year. Goretzka has been at Bayern Munich for 4 seasons. He's made 112 appearances. Goretzka is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but he can be deployed as a defensive midfielder and a right winger. He is the age of 26, so he is in his prime. Eduardo Camavinga. Now, it did say not so long ago that we want to make him our next signing after Jadon Sancho. Man United have already met with Camavinga's representatives. He said we'd have to pay around £85 million, but we set the price for Camavinga and we can sign him for £40 million. The Rennes sporting director recently said that Rennes have been in discussions with other clubs over a potential transfer for Eduardo Camavinga. The player not so long ago spoke about Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. He's 18, he's Camavinga. He made his debut for Rennes at the age of 16 and he's been in their senior squad since 2018 is it? Gone on to make like 82 appearances. He has been at Rennes since 2013. But yeah, we've enjoyed a good start to the summer transfer window. And I did say I'm expecting Man United to enjoy a very good summer transfer window because I am convinced that Solskjaer's going to get all the players he wants to recommend in. You know, this summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Before the summer transfer window opened, he said Solskjaer had been given a £150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. And our board did say they'll back Solskjaer with summer signings and a new 3-year contract. You know, if we can get Raphael Varane on the board, I'm convinced we can win the title next season. But I think Solskjaer does want to make around 4 or 5 signings in this summer transfer window. He did mention that he wants to strengthen up in 4 positions. Joe Glazer promised Manchester United fans that Solskjaer will get the funds that are available. Joe Glazer attended a fans forum on the 4th of June, which was last month. His first attendance in 15, 16 years. Man United are going to offload players in this summer transfer window. So reflecting on that will generate money. I think there's a very good chance we're going to offload Anthony Martial. There's a very good chance we're going to offload Donny van der Beek. We could offload Matic, Pogba. You know, he could still leave. Brandon Williams, I'm expecting us to loan him out. Phil Jones, I'm expecting us to offload him. Tuan Zebe looks like he's going. Diego Dalot looks like he's leaving. I think we'll be looking to get rid of Andres Pereira permanently. Daniel James could also depart Man United in this summer transfer window. Next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. Obviously next season is going to be Solskjaer's 3rd full season. What are you doing? Alright. Yeah, it's going to be his 3rd full season. I'd say next season he's got to win a trophy if he is to remain Manchester United manager, because he's not yet won a trophy. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's 4 years ago now. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But despite us signing Sancho, it still doesn't change my perception on Solskjaer. I still don't think he's a long-term manager for Manchester United. But all he has been in charge of the club now for 30 months, which is over 2 years. You know, these good players at Manchester United, and you know, these players that have really, really improved. Dean Henderson, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Not so long ago it said that Solskjaer has chosen Dean Henderson to be our number 1 goalkeeper for next season. It is the right decision, because I said he's reliable enough now to be our number 1. Henderson's got that experience behind him. He endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield, and he's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. David De Gea. Now, despite him making a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years, I still think De Gea is a very, very good goalkeeper. You know, De Gea's been a long servant at Man United. He's endured, 10 years at the club. And I reckon he's had, 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us. To be honest with you, I think De Gea is going to be staying for next season, because not so long ago De Gea said he's determined to win his place back. And he's not sulked since losing his spot to Dean Henderson. And he said he's convinced he'll stay at Man United and be Solskjaer's number 1 for next season. There's some United fans that prefer De Gea to Dean Henderson. To De Gea's credit, last season he produced his best performances after the Everton collapse in February. And he responded well to Dean Henderson getting the number 1 role. De Gea put a very good performance out in the semi-final against Roma. Luke Shaw, he's really improved as well. Luke Shaw was our best player last season. In a lot of his games last season showed very good attacking intent. Shaw, he got into very good positions. He put good crosses into the box. Created good chances for his teammates, provided width, and defensively he was good, but towards the end of last season, for like 3 games in a row, he looked off the pace. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles last year, and he's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Shaw's been at the club now for over 7 years. Alex Telles now, I don't really have much of a perception on him because he's hardly played for us, but in some of the games he was involved in last season he was consistent. When we got Telles last year, I expected him to be our first choice left back immediately, but it didn't happen. We got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million. Eric Bailly, I think he's a very good centre-half, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is too injury prone. So in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Bailly's been with us now for over 5 years. Got him for 30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. Harry Maguire, he's good when he wants to be. I thought he put a good performance out in the Derby defeat last season. He did score in the 2-1 defeat to Sheffield last season. Maguire scored like 3 or 4 goals for Man United. Maguire was a big miss though towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. Sustained it in our 3-1 win against Villa, but we overpaid for Harry Maguire. We got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Wan-Bissaka, he's really improved, and Bissaka is one of the best right-backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, Bissaka's superb, but he's got to show more attacking intent, but there was actually some games last season where he did show some good attacking intent. Bissaka's endured 2 full seasons at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 50 million from Palace back in the summer of 2019. Scott McTominay, he's a decent player as well, but he's not yet on that level where I want him to be at. The question is, can he emulate that level? He needs more time. McTominay's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. His best game last season by far was a 6-2 win against Leeds. He made a difference in that game, scored twice. Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Paul Pogba, we've been getting the best out of him in recent months. Pogba does bring creativity to the team. Don't forget last season, Pogba scored the crucial winner against AC Milan in the Europa League, and he scored a superb goal in the 2-1 away win against Fulham. I hope Paul Pogba stays for next season, and I think he will be happy to stay as long as we match his ambitions. Pogba had a fallout with Adrien Rabiot not so long ago. He scored a very good goal for France against Switzerland. France are no longer in the Euros because Switzerland beat them on penalties. But I thought Pogba enjoyed a very, very good tournament. I think it said we want around 72 million if we are to offload Pogba in this summer transfer window. He has had a long-running transfer saga. He's recently been linked with a move to PSG. PSG's chef Leonardo has contacted Mini Oriola. Not so long ago, Mini Oriola held talks with PSG's president. PSG want to partner Pogba with Wijnaldum in their midfield, and Kim Pembe says that Pogba would be welcome to PSG. Madrid have been linked with Pogba. Paul Pogba's former club Juventus have been in for him. Pogba enjoyed 4 good years at Juventus before he rejoined us. Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Sky Sports News said not so long ago that Man United are in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. It says we want to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player, with a new 5-year contract worth £104 million. That equates to around £500,000 a week. Mini Oriola is demanding in the excess of £500,000 a week to keep his client at Manchester United. We fear losing Pogba on a free transfer. Next year's current contract expires because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. As it stands at the moment, he's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him, and Pogba's enjoyed 5 seasons at the club since he rejoined. Bruno Fernandes, obviously, he's a very, very good player. Fernandes is our best player, and he's one of the best signings we have made since Ferguson retired. In a lot of Bruno Fernandes' games, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace, but we have overplayed him. Now, I updated you on Fernandes earlier on today. Fabrizio Romano's come out and said that Man United are looking to extend Bruno Fernandes' contract. It said towards the end of last season that Man United were willing to double Bruno Fernandes' wages to £200,000 a week because he's on £100,000 a week at the moment. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. We got him in a deal worth just over £67 million. Fernandes won Player of the Year, reflecting on his good performances, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times. But he's been with us now for like 17 or 18 months. He predominantly plays as a number 10. You know, Mason Greenwood, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad, despite him going a long period without scoring. Mason Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. He has been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And last season, he signed a 4-year contract with Man United, but he deserved a new contract, reflecting on his good performances. Edinson Cavani, he's made a fantastic impact since he's come in, and I'm glad Edinson Cavani is staying for next season. You know, because Cavani scores good goals, he creates good chances, his hold-up play is good, and his movement in and around the box is good. Fabrizio Romano said towards the end of last season that Cavani agreed a 1-year contract. And Marcus Rashford, He's good when he wants to be, but there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. Because he's endured his bad periods and he's become injury prone as well, sustained some injuries last season. We've just got to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side because that's where he's more effective. Amad Diallo Traore, he looks a very, very good asset for the first team squad. We got him from Atlanta. So there you go. But I have got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer credit. I think Solskjaer's done a good job, to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United, he had a lot to do. And he knew it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. You know, since Solskjaer's come in, he has made good signings at Man United. You know, now he's spent over £300 million. You know, got rid of a lot of the deadwood, and he knew he had to do that when he came in. I like the way he develops the youth. When Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody's been given their chances. In Ollie's first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals, got us a 3rd place finish. In his second full season, he got us to the Europa League final, the EFL Cup semi-final, the FA Cup quarter-final, got us a 2nd place finish last season. And last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, so that was a record. I also like Solskjaer's honesty because he's honest about a lot of things. He said last season it wasn't a successful season, and obviously Solskjaer accepted that. So there you go. But like I've said to you before, the reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can assure he wouldn't have been here now, because we've endured very bad periods under Ole where he's been very, very close to getting sacked. Ole has under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. But if we do decide to sack him at some point next season, who's going to come in to replace him? You know, I think we need someone in with a proven pedigree and someone who's going to suit the strappings of the club. But to be honest with you, if we did decide to sack Solskjaer next season or at some other point, you know, it wouldn't really solve anything, because when we have been inconsistent, not all the blame has stemmed from him. Obviously, he has to take responsibility for some things. And like I've said to you, I do have my concerns about Ole. So anyway guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.